Welcome to Twisted Tales TV, the channel where we uncover gripping mysteries and true crime stories from around the world. Today, we take you to the misty streets of Delhi, where silence was broken by a scream and a brutal murder shook the city. Stay with us as we unravel the dark threads of the Delhi murders, a case that will haunt you long after it ends. Delhi can be a city of secrets. Under its sprawling skyline, some stories remain buried in silence until a faint sound of terror wakes them. It was one such night when the quiet lane of Chandni Vihar became the scene of a tragedy no one expected. The lane was deserted, except for a lone dog barking in the mist. Suddenly, a scream ripped through the silence, sharp, urgent, and desperate. An unsuspecting man reading a book under a faint lamp looked up and ran towards the sound. But by the time he arrived, the lane was empty, except for a faint trail of blood leading towards the darkness. Someone was gone. Someone had been silenced. The Delhi murders had just begun. Early morning. The lane swarmed with police officers and detectives. A body lay in the alley, partially covered with a cloth. The victim was identified as Sarah Khan, 28, a freelance photographer. The police discovered a broken mobile phone, a lone shoe, and a faint trail of blood. The silence of the scene spoke volumes. The lane became a maze of questions. Whose blood was this? Who was Sarah? Why was she targeted? A veteran detective named Aditya Singh knelt down, brushing a hand across the concrete. This was brutal, yet calculated, he whispered. The hunt for the murderer had just started. You're watching Twisted Tales TV, your trusted channel for deep and gripping true crime narratives. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss an episode. Stay with us as we piece together the puzzling threads of the Delhi murders and reveal the murderer lurking in the darkness. Detective Aditya Singh was no stranger to the darker side of Delhi. An experienced and sharp investigator, he knew this case wouldn't be straightforward. As he reviewed the evidence, a picture of Sarah emerged, an ambitious young woman passionate about capturing moments of life. But why would anyone want to kill her? He pored over her phone records, social media, and photographs. The last call she made was to a taxi service. The last message she received read, "Be careful tonight." A warning? A threat? The detective's room was plastered with photographs of potential suspects and locations. There's a pattern here, he said aloud, brushing his finger across the timeline of events. The murderer is meticulous, but even meticulous people slip up. The detective felt it deep within. A murderer was closer than he appeared. Someone who knew Sarah. Someone with a reason for this brutal act. The investigation would lead down a dark path, and Aditya was determined to walk every step until the murderer was brought to justice. As the investigation progressed, 4 names emerged as potential suspects. Rajesh Singh, the taxi driver who spoke to Sarah moments before her death. Ajay, a vegetable vendor. In the lane, witness to strange activity. Vikas, Sarah's ex-boyfriend, a man with a known temper and troubled history. And an unknown man, captured briefly on CCTV, lurking in the lane moments before the attack. Each suspect had a story, a reason, a possibility. Rajesh claimed he knew nothing beyond dropping Sarah near the lane. Ajay spoke of a tall man in a black jacket and scarf. The ex-boyfriend had a bitter motive rooted in betrayal. But the CCTV figure remained a ghost. The threads were tangled, yet one thing was certain. One of these men held the key to Sarah's murder. The storm was brewing. Rajesh, the taxi driver, was brought in for questioning. Nervously, he explained, "I dropped her near the lane at midnight. She was on the phone saying, 'I'll be there soon.' Someone was waiting for her." He recalled a tall man lurking near the alley. "I didn't recognize him, but he wore a black jacket and a scarf," Rajesh said, voice shaking. The detective pressed further. Did you notice anything else? Rajesh shook his head, frightened, yet offered one vital piece of information. Sarah said, I'll meet you by the old water tap at the end of the lane. This confirmed that someone was expecting her. The murderer had chosen the spot intentionally. Rajesh was released, but remained a person of interest. The detective jotted down every word, every expression. The picture was gaining focus, and one name would soon rise from the depths. Meanwhile, the lane remained quiet, its shadows holding its secrets for just a little longer. Ajay, the vegetable vendor, spoke with a quiver in his voice. I remember seeing a tall figure in a black jacket and scarf that night, he said. He walked quickly towards the lane, as if chasing someone. When pressed, Ajay added, I heard a sound like a branch snapping and then silence. The detective felt a shift in the case. The suspect was tall, wore a black jacket, and acted with precision. This murderer was no opportunist. He came prepared. Ajay could not recall more details, but this confirmed one thing. The murderer knew the area well and acted under the cover of darkness, confident he wouldn't be spotted. The witness statement tightened the net. The murderer had left a trail, and it was only a matter of time before he would be caught. Vikas, Sarah's ex-boyfriend, had a history of aggression. According to friends, the relationship ended badly. When brought in for questioning, Vikas appeared tense, avoiding eye contact. The detective presented evidence, phone records, witness statements, and CCTV images. Cornered, Vikas confessed that he had met Sarah that night, intending to confront her. I didn't mean to kill her, he said, voice shaking. I just wanted to make her understand. She refused, and I lost control. The room fell silent. The murderer was unmasked. Driven by obsession and anger, he had silenced the voice he claimed to love. In one moment of madness, he ended a life that promised so much. The detective sighed. Another case solved. Another tragedy marked in Delhi's long and dark ledger. Justice would be served, but the cost was heartbreak for so many. A special team of officers raided a tiny room where Vikas was hiding. The room was cluttered with photographs of Sarah, evidence of obsession and anger. The black jacket he wore that night was found hanging from a hook, faintly stained with her blood. The detective watched as handcuffs tightened around the murderer's wrists. It's over, Aditya said quietly. The city would now breathe a little easier tonight, knowing the murderer was behind bars. Yet for every solved case, countless stories remained buried in Delhi's mist. A lane that witnessed Sarah's last moments would bear the scars forever, reminding all who passed by that life can be as fragile as midnight mist and as dark as the murderer's heart. Days passed. The lane returned to its routine, but its silence felt deeper, almost sacred. At the spot where Sarah fell, flowers appeared, a quiet remembrance of a life extinguished too soon. The Delhi murders shook the city, reminding its people that vigilance and compassion are the best weapons against cruelty. Detective Aditya stood by the lane one last time, looking at the faint marks where tragedy unfolded. He felt a mix of relief and sorrow. The murderer was caught, but the pain would linger. As he walked away, the wind rustled the leaves, whispering the lesson this tragedy left behind, that darkness can arise in unexpected moments. But as long as justice shines its light, silence can be broken, and the dead can be heard. In the heart of Delhi, one voice was silenced forever. Yet its echoes would guide countless others towards strength, safety, and the light. Thank you for watching this video of Twisted Tales TV. Stay vigilant, stay safe, and remember, in a world where silence can hide dark secrets, your voice and awareness can make a difference. Subscribe for more gripping stories, and until next time, stay safe and stay aware.